Starting. All right, guys, welcome to the class. This is Commercial Real Estate 101 with Andrew Sardui. And I'm going to go right into it because there's a lot of topics here to cover. Here we are, introduction, the pros and cons of commercial real estate, skills necessary for the business, where to start, building a property owner database, aka your farm area, the asset types, office, multifamily, retail, industrial, land, the lingo, important terms to know about the industry, generating new business, very important, state of the market today in Miami, Q4 2019, it's a month ago, and conclusion. Okay, so the introduction, the pros. Light workload on the weekends. Really, you don't have to really work on the weekends in commercial real estate if you don't want to. But if you want to get ahead, then you do. There's always stuff to do. There's always things to plan for the week, for the upcoming week. Traditionally, there's bigger deal sizes. Although in Miami, we have the ultra luxury market, which the deals are just as big as the commercial deals in some cases. You make your own schedule. But like I tell people, if you're not working a 9 to 5, if you don't treat it like a 9 to 5, then, or more, it's really a 9 to 8. If you don't treat it that way, then it's very hard to succeed. It's not really a part-time gig. It's trust-based business. You got to build relationships with your clients for life. That's important. Once your clients trust you, then you bring them deals, and they're more willing to move forward on things because they see that you have their best interests in mind. There's repeat business from clients, so people that have bought from you once, so buy from you again. You develop your list of your preferred buyers where you bring the deals to right away. A good thing that I like about commercial real estate is that you take the emotion out of the deal. So versus residential real estate where a deal might fall apart because the wife goes into the kitchen and she doesn't like the colors. In commercial real estate, it's all about the numbers. In income property, what matters is the return, the cap rate. So there's less emotion involved versus regular real estate. Also, you find the best off-market deals. You're mining for deals all day, talking to new people. So you're in the front lines of the business. So you find the best deals right away. And sometimes you could sell them before even putting them on the market. Fast track to an investment career. If you're finding the best deals, eventually you start partnering up with your clients and get into something called syndication, which is you spearhead the deal, you put in some equity into the deal, whether it be money or sweat equity, which is doing the work, and then you bring in other partners. To finance the deal, and you stay as a part owner, a small part owner, and then eventually you sell or you hold, or there's many things that you can do. Also, the snowball effect. So what this means is if once you get going in commercial real estate, you're always going to have things going on. Once you have listings on the market, you're always going to have people calling you, giving you new listings, asking you to help them find things. So, organizing your schedule can become difficult if you don't have the right tools. And also, the deals just kind of snowball. So it's like a snowball going down the hill. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually, you have so much stuff going on that's when you really start making money. And now the cons. You eat what you kill. So basically, it's self-explanatory. If you don't sell anything, you don't make any money. The average deal takes 3 months to close. This is one thing it's a big barrier to entry into the market because, a deal, normal due diligence on a deal is 30 days, 60 days. I've seen up to 90 days. And then you have another 30 days to close usually. So the average deal takes 3 months to close, and then sometimes they find stuff in the inspection, and then they need to cure the inspection items. So you have to have a lot of deals going on in order to really be successful, because You know, if you don't sell anything for 3 months, you don't make any money. So that's a con. A deal may fall through several times before it closes. You know, we've had deals on the market that have had, you know, 10 offers, maybe got on the contract 3 times, and then eventually somebody closes on it. There's increasing marketing costs nowadays. You have to keep up with basically all the new technology. You know, we're getting drone videos for all our all our listings. You do floor plans, surveys. You know, we just have to pay for a survey here out of pocket for a development site for 3 properties. You know, it's something that, you know, you can pass through to the owner if you want to but if it's different owners, you know, it can become difficult. So sometimes you have to pocket a lot of that cost. Contrary to popular belief, the commission percentages are lower than in residential real estate. The average commission on deals is 2% for each broker. We don't get the 3% that, you know, you get when you sell a house. It's just there's just a lot of competition in the industry, so, and the deal sizes are bigger, so the commissions have just gone down over the past several years. It can be difficult in the beginning of the career, so it's recommended that you have at least some savings for the first to survive a few months, because even if you hit the ground running and you get something under contract right away, it can take 60 days to close. So if you have to, you know, if you're going through eviction, then, you know, it can become difficult. And also, it's a pro and it's also a con. It's a snowball effect. What happens is, you go on vacation 2 weeks. You made a big closing. You go on vacation 2 weeks. So, not only are you wasting the money that you have in your pocket when you're on vacation, but you're not generating new business. So it's a double whammy. So the snowball in effect just stops, and then once it stops, it's hard to get it going again. Once you come back, you have to really, you know, push the snowball to get it going again, because, you know, it's once it stops, the machine stops, it's hard to get it back going. You know, you have to start all the deals all over if you have nothing going on. So, okay, so skills necessary for the business. Number 1, patience. Rome didn't get built in one day. You gotta have patience. You gotta be a part psychologist with the clients. You know, people confide in you, and it just becomes a personal situation in which you have to be patient, because some clients they get angry, and you have to be part psychologist. You can't become emotionally involved in the deals, because you're the one you're the steward of the deal. So you have to be in the middle, and you have to be cool as the other side of the pillow always, because if you start stressing out and the clients see that, then the deal can just fall apart all around you. So you have to be patient. You have to be cool, calm, and collected. Hard work. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You know, that's self-explanatory. I mean, you gotta work. Whether you work from the office or you work from home or whatever, you know, you have to work. You know, if you don't work, you don't make any money, obviously. Consistency. So become the top of mind agent that gets a referral. So this is important, because you need to be always top of mind, right? So top of mind means that when a client needs to sell property, or they need to lease out a space, then they think, oh, wait a minute, oh, who does leasing? Okay, this guy. So you got to be top of mind always for all your clients. So how do you do that? You do constant marketing, so that, you know, it might seem like it's annoying to people, but in reality, as long as they don't unfollow you, you become top of mind. Listening to clients' wants and needs. So this is important. When you're talking to a client, the goal is to help them out. You're here to help them achieve their goals. So, you know, if you're there in a listing appointment and you're thinking, and you're tuning out what the client is saying, and you're thinking, what am I going to say next? That's wrong. What you have to do is you have to listen to the clients, the problems that they have, and how are you going to help them solve their problems. So it's very important to listen to exactly what they say at any meeting, at any juncture. because you're here to help. Follow up is key. So it can take 5 or 6 meetings sometimes in order to build enough rapport to get a listing. So it's not uncommon at all. You know, clients have so many people calling them all the time that you need to actually have several meetings in order to sometimes get a listing, and that's why you have to have constant farming all the time in order to get it going. Be fearless. Lose the fear of rejection. Practice makes perfect. Nobody likes calling in the beginning, but like everything with practice, you lose the fear, and then eventually you really like it. Honestly, it's the best thing. The best use of your time is to be talking to property owners as much as possible in a time of a couple hours a day, every day. That's the only way to succeed. Also, set the meeting. Face-to-face meeting is always the goal of a phone call. So even if it's just to go take a look at the property, set the meeting. Always you build more rapport face-to-face. You always gotta have an eagle eye on the market. So save searches what your client needs. If your client's looking for a multifamily, a certain amount of units, you save the search, send the emails to yourself. As soon as you get it, you call the client, hey, look what I got. So always be on the lookout for assets that your clients will buy. So I can't tell you how many deals I've closed like this. Just I saw it and I sent it to them right away. And the next day I talk to them and they tell me, oh, 2 people sent it to me right after you, but I'm gonna go with you because you sent it to me first. So be the first to sell the property, or somebody else will. That's the bottom line. You have to be a master of the market. You have to know exactly what's going on. Punctuality, don't be late. Just like in any business, nobody likes to deal with somebody that's not responsible. Use your time wisely. The best times to make cold calls are early in the mornings when people are home, and then sometimes later on in the afternoon, depending on the day. So when you get into the office early, 8 a.m., you start calling right away, and you'll be surprised how many people pick up. The emails can usually wait, and then you work in blocks. You have your calling in the 2 hours in the morning, then you have your emails, stuff around the office, and you go do your showings. So try to plan out your day ahead of time. And the most important thing, prospect every day. So if you don't, you'll feel it in 3 months. So because it takes 90 days on average to close a deal, if you don't prospect every day, you're gonna be broke 3 months down the line. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so building a property owner database. This is very important. So where do you start? You have these programs, IMAP, you have CoStar, Google Sheets, and Siley. So IMAP, you access through your Miami Realtors portal. You download the raw property data. It contains all the properties. This is raw property data from the tax roll. Okay. I can show you how to do that real quick if you want. Okay, so this is IMAP. Okay, so let's say that you're looking for multifamilies, right? Property use code, multifamily. Let's say you're looking for a 20-unit multifamilies and you want to start farming multifamilies in the zip code of 33010. Okay, start search. You have 174 multifamilies, over 10 units, and this is Hialeah. From there, you download results, and you're gonna get you get the owner the full record or the owner address. You get their business address, you get the property address, you get the name of the owner. Sometimes you have to go a little bit further and get the phone numbers and stuff and the names because they're usually owned under LLCs. And this is pretty much what the raw data would look like. so now you have the owner names, the number, the addresses here of the properties. Okay, and it goes all the way up to their personal addresses and everything. So now that you have an Excel spreadsheet with the owner's information and the property information, you download it into your computer and then go to something like Google Sheets, which is something like this. Like this is an office list that I'm currently farming. See, the green is the stuff that I've already either have listed or I'm dealing with. So this is Google Sheets. So it's a free Excel online, and you can share with multiple people. So you can have 2 or 3 people working on the same list, and then you put your notes in there, and that's a quick way to basically sync everybody on the cloud that's working on a particular asset class, and also keep track of the information, you know, see the notes on what happened in the last call. That's a very simple way to do it. CoStar is the commercial MLS. You could download property data from here. It contains most properties, not all, like the tax roll. Only the properties that they have on record, but it's quite a lot, and they usually have the owner's information, including the phone numbers, which is great. A basic CRM is Insightly that we use, and it's a free CRM.
Excuse me, Andres.
Yeah.
Can you get into what it takes to have accessibility to CoStar? Because I think it's a very important point for new agents going into commercial real estate.
You have to have an account, so only authorized users. So you have to be a veteran agent for the company to pay for an account for you, basically. Okay.
So it's separate to the MLS.
Separate to the MLS, yes. But you can always talk to me and I'll help you out. Okay, so these are the different asset classes, right? So we have office buildings, retail, multifamilies, industrial. These are all properties that I'm either dealing with or I've dealt with. This is land. The land can be commercial, multifamily, industrial, office. Depends on the zoning. The zoning changes by the city, by the county. It changes, you know, wherever you go. It's a different zoning. So you always have to be on the lookout for that. Something that I don't have on here. There's a website called Municode, and that has all the zoning information for the majority of the cities and municipalities. Now, other types of real estate: self-storage facilities, healthcare properties, hotels, lodging, senior living centers, marinas. You know, it's an extensive list of unique properties, but the 4 main asset classes are office buildings, retail, industrial, multifamily. Okay, now the asset classes. Okay, Class A, new construction or relatively new buildings, highest quality buildings in their markets, properties with high-end finishes and great locations. So here would be properties in Brickell, the big office buildings. Basically everything is top of the line, brand new. There's no deferred maintenance. Deferred maintenance is a good way of saying like
Needs work.
the stuff needs work, basically. So they'll have little to no deferred maintenance. Very usually professionally managed, high-income tenants. So the buyers for these kind of assets are willing to accept a sub 5% cap rate. Usually insurance companies are the buyers for these assets because they're very low risk assets. So the buyers are willing to take on a lower cap rate to get, you know, less risk. Class B, one step down from Class A. Class B buildings are older, have a mid-range income tenants. Typically have some deferred maintenance issues, but they're considered stable assets. You can always add value to these type of assets. Buyers can usually acquire these properties slightly higher cap rates than Class A, 5 to 6 caps. You know, so people watching that are not from Miami, that's just the kind of market that we have down here. You know, it's the new norm today in 2019. Hopefully it changes, but we're a major market, so there's a lot of interest, and the caps are much lower than in other secondary and tertiary markets. So Class C properties are usually more than 20 years old. They're located in less desirable neighborhoods, usually outdated and in need of total renovation to achieve higher rents. Sometimes they have problematic tenants. These are what you call value add properties, and they're actually highly sought after because that's where the money is right now, the value add product. So, usually you can find these properties at 6+ caps, 7 caps, but you don't find any 8 caps or anything like that here in Miami. So you can find these in secondary or tertiary markets, and basically in secondary and tertiary markets, the caps for these properties can be much higher. So the way that a primary market, for example, here in Miami would be like Brickell and the greater downtown area. A secondary market would be an area that is not as good, but it's still good. So I would say like maybe Hialeah will be a secondary market where there's people that live there. The vacancies or the vacancy rates are low. And then a tertiary market would be like Homestead, for example. It's a little bit out of the way. There's a lot of people that still live there. The rents are lower. You find more opportunities in tertiary markets, but they're usually further away from the action. So. Okay, so the lingo, important terms to know in commercial real estate. A CRM, customer relationship management program. There's all sorts of CRMs out there. They basically help you keep track of your clients. They have follow-up capabilities, daily reminders. It syncs with your calendar. I'm always on my calendar every time I get an appointment. I put it right on my calendar right away, so I don't have to, think about it all the time. It's already there. I get a reminder. Here's the appointment, or call this person. So if you put everything on your calendar right away, or your CRM, then you're not gonna have to constantly think of like, oh, do I have something tomorrow? What do I have tomorrow? Oh, 2 or 3 meetings. No, it's already there. It's already, it's a way to really structure your schedule so that you really don't have to stress yourself out thinking about, we're not supercomputers. We're humans, so we can't possibly remember all these appointments and when we have to call people and all that. So it's better just to use a CRM, even a free one. I don't have anything crazy, and basically it helps you stay organized. And especially when somebody tells you, "Hey, call me next year." All right, so you put in your CRM, I'll call him next year. Next year comes around, today's date, and I remember this guy, so I'm gonna call him. There it is. Cash flow. It's a property's income minus expenses equals the cash flow. Okay. Net operating income. That's the income you generate annually from an income property after deducting property expenses. So it's commonly referred as the NOI. The NOI does not include mortgage payments, so it's basically your income minus your operating expenses. Okay, yearly income minus operating expenses equals NOI. Cash on cash return. So this is the metric used to measure basically the yield of your initial investment into a property. So it's used to measure the ratio between an asset's annual cash flow in relation to the down payment used to purchase the property. So the definition is annual pre-tax cash flow divided by total cash invested. So let me give you an example of this. The annual rental income of a property is $100,000, right? Annual mortgage payments of the property, $50,000. So the annual cash flow, $50,000, right? So that's after you pay your mortgage, you stay with $50,000. Okay. Now total cash invested equals the down payment plus the fees. So the total cash investment, let's say you spend $200,000 at the closing plus $10,000 in closing costs. So your $210,000 is all in on the property. So that was your initial investment. Okay, so the cash on cash return is the annual cash flow divided by the total cash invested. So if you're making $50,000 in annual cash flow from that investment property, you divide that by the initial cash you put into it, which is $210,000. So this will give you 0.24 or 24%. So that's how you see your real return on a property. The capitalization rate, very important. We use it a lot, the cap rate. So this is the ratio between the net income of a property and its original price. It's known as the yield, and it's calculated as a percentage. So the formula is cap rate equals net operating income divided by property value. Example, the property has a net operating income of $50,000 and the original purchase price was $500,000. The cap rate is $50,000 divided by $500,000. So the NOI divided by the property value. Okay, so the cap rate is 10% on this particular example. And one thing here I want to add. So the way this formula works, the NOI over the value or the purchase price divided or equals the cap rate. If you have any two of these, you can figure out the third one just by plugging it into this. So if you have the NOI and the cap rate, you can figure out the purchase price that you want to pay for that particular asset. All right, generating new business, super important. So cold calling every day is the best way to generate new business, get new clients, unless you have a huge marketing budget. It's a few that the machine runs on. Basically, talking directly to property owners is the best use of your time. You know, following leads and stuff from the internet, like I don't spend any time with that because, you know, I'd rather be talking to property owners directly. So there's always somebody out there that you know that you can help out, and you're here to help. So circle prospecting, that's the art of following up with clients periodically to see what their different needs and wants are at any given time. You could work at a different neighborhood. Basically, the situations change every day. So if somebody wasn't a buyer or seller last year, you know, something might have changed. So you have to keep contact with people in your farm area periodically. So a CRM can help you with this. So if somebody tells you call me this time next year, then you can do that. MailChimp, Constant Contact, emails. These are mailing programs that send so basically you send weekly emails to your client list, either advertising new listing, just sold, reduced, and they're highly effective to keep you top of mind. So weekly or monthly newsletter. So a weekly or monthly newsletter on one of these mailing programs is something that I've been doing for the last 6 months or so. And it helps your clients be on top of what's going on in the real estate world in your city. So you pick up the articles, and you know it's something that you take time to do every week. And sometimes clients will respond with things that they're looking for as well that are not related to what you're sending. Let me show you an example of that. Okay, so this one I just sent out this morning, right? So this is my newsletter. So these are articles, all that happened in the last couple of days. You know, they can click on, if they want more information, they can click on the articles. So this is something cool that you do for your clients. You know, it's work, but you know, you have your button to join the list. They can send it to their friends. I mean, it's just, and then you sneak in a featured property at the end, you know, with a reduction, so that you're also advertising your listings. You know, it's just something cool to do for your clients. Oh, Instagram, Facebook campaigns. So advertise your new listing with a geolocation. This is very cool. So let's say that you have a listing. Let's say right here on Douglas Road. So you'll do a Facebook and Instagram campaign to advertise the listing to the people around the neighborhood. So you spend, you know, 20, 30 bucks. You choose how much you want to spend. You can spend $5, $10, doesn't matter. You reach the people in the neighborhood that you want. You can even narrow it down to women only, or men only, or people of a certain age range, whatever you want. So this is something new that, you know, it gets views. So people notice, and you'll start getting calls out of nowhere, and it's usually from something like this. This is something new, and it's been pretty cool so far. Okay, so the state of the market today in Miami. The seller's market still, It's been a seller's market for many years. Basically, inventory's low. Many deals are changing hands off the market. A lot of properties on the market are just overpriced. The rents are at an all-time high right now, and they're forecasted to increase slightly, not as much as in the previous years. People here in Miami spend like 35% of their income on rents. So prices are an all-time high. I can do a whole another class about that. The chart in 2006, we're like 25% higher than we were in 2007, 2006, 2007, right before the crash. So the prices are crazy right now. Not a lot of stuff makes sense out there. Preferred asset class right now for investors is multi-tenant properties, multi-family office buildings, multi-tenant retail that doesn't have so much exposure to like the big box tenants, which are kind of floundering right now. Cap rates are historic lows, Miami-Dade, like all major markets. A lot of people are from here looking at other markets actually to achieve the higher cap rates. That makes sense. So 5 to 6 caps here in Miami-Dade is the new norm. You want to get into a good neighborhood at a 5 or a 6 cap, of course. Basically, money is cheap right now. The interest rates are extremely low. So deals that normally wouldn't make sense start to make a little bit more sense, especially newer deals at cap rates that like a sub 5 cap rate, which is crazy, but they start to make a little bit more sense because if you can buy a brand new building, hold it, and the rents are going to be going up. Even if it's slightly, you still have a brand new building. So, and the money's so cheap that then your margin starts to make a little bit more sense. So people are looking at these lower cap deals because the money's just very cheap right now. All-time high prices have stabilized and they're on the way down. So buyers are becoming pickier. Sellers are not getting the amount of offers that they were getting in the last year or two. So I've seen the prices are coming down and just reductions everywhere. So that means that it's already on the way down. My prediction for 2020 is the prices are coming down. More inventory coming to market. Hopefully at reasonable prices and a reasonable sellers beware. And then, so in conclusion, in summary, help your clients. Don't chase the commission. You wanna help people. Don't just think about yourself and chase the commission, because people can smell that from a mile away. If you're out there just generally trying to help your clients achieve their goals, then you're just gonna do better business out there, and they're gonna refer to you even more clients. Work hard. Closings happen every day, no matter how the market is. If it's up or down or good or bad, it doesn't matter. There's closings happening every day, so you just have to shift your position according to what the market is doing. And as long as you're working hard every day, and you're gonna find your way to quite a few closings. Follow up is key in this business. Like I said, you need 5 or 6 meetings to get a listing sometimes. Sometimes you get it on the first try, but following up with clients is crucial. Just one conversation is not enough. People remember you if you call them a year later. Oh yeah, that's right. People remember. So just follow up, farm your area. Don't get like a huge farm area either, because I've done that in the past and it's very hard. There's no way to farm a huge farm area. You're better off concentrated on a part of town, on a little pocket. Build a brand. A brand is very important these days to build trust with your clients and something that's recognizable. Be top of mind to get the referrals. So you want people to think whenever they have a need in real estate, oh hey, this guy is the one that you got to talk to. Oh, I know somebody, talk to this guy. That's how you got to be top of mind. Work your sphere of influence. So tell your family and friends what you do. Ask for help. That's something that they tell you in the textbook when you get your real estate license. And I never did it enough. And there's people that they just ignore that, but it's very important. If you just call your immediate group of friends and family and make sure you're posting stuff on Facebook, and Instagram right away, then people are gonna know that you're a realtor, and it's just gonna bring you more business. So that's something that, you know, if I started doing real estate today, I would do that right away, and see results. It's a quick way for you to see your results and not to be ignored. Prospect every day. It's hard with all the things that are going on with the different deals and at different stages of different deals. So it's easy just to sit there at the office all day answering emails, but you have to make it a habit to have at least an hour, 2 or 3 hours a day to prospect, to talk to brand new people. Just that's the engine that, you know, that turns the machine. You know, that's the fuel that turns the machine. Prospecting every day. You have to talk to new people all day. You know, new property owners. That's the only way to really keep your business going. Otherwise, you'll feel it 3 months down the line. So if you work in teams, you cover more ground. You talk to more people. It's very simple. The only limit that we have is time. You know, so you have to use your time wisely. That's why talking to people is very good use of your time, because, you know, you're talking directly to property owners. So if you can do that for an hour or two a day, you know, somebody's gonna have something going on that will need your help with. So you have to use your time very wisely. And that's it for today. And thank you.